Alright, welcome back to the Horizon YouTube channel. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about minimalism, stoicism, and a little bit about technology and how those two sort of philosophies apply to technology in my life. I have this book by our guy Marcus Aurelius, the Emperor Philosopher, the Stoic. It's a good book. I don't agree with everything Marcus Aurelius says. I mean, who am I to disagree with the emperor? But they do. I think Stoicism is a very useful philosophy, especially today, where we have a lot of luxury and excess, and we got to remember what we really need to survive and what we really need to be happy. And I wanted to talk about it in terms of technology, because I have this old iPhone 8, which obviously is quite far behind the current iPhone, which is iPhone 17. But for me, every time I, pick up my iPhone, people see that I still have the old iPhone and they say, why do you have such an old iPhone? Why don't you upgrade it? And my answer is, well, this one provides the functions that I need. I can go on Spotify, I can go on YouTube, I can call my friends, I can text my friends on WhatsApp or on normal text. I can really do whatever I want. I can go on my banking app, whatever I need, I think the only function that the newer iPhone provides that would be useful for me would be that it has a better camera and perhaps a better battery time. But in terms of the battery time, I can solve that through a power bank. I just feel that in terms of technology, we really have to be stoics, and we don't have to, but for me personally, it's useful to be stoic about it and to ask myself, what do I really need? What are my actual needs here? And do I need the luxury of the newest hardware? Especially because my phone here, it develops with the software. So because it has access to the internet, my apps are updated. It's like, just because the hardware is old, it can still follow along with most software. And when it can't, if I download an app, sometimes it'll say, oh, you can't download this app, but you can download an older version of it. And I just do that. I just download an older version of it. And I'm saving a lot of money on it, by not buying the newest software, because technology products are some of the most expensive product classes in society. So if we can save on that, that's going to make huge inroads on personal finance as well. But it's really just a question that I would like to present is, what is the purpose of upgrading? What value does it provide for you? If you can give an answer where it's actually providing extra important value for you, then get the upgrade, of course. If you need a better editing program on your MacBook, then maybe get a newer MacBook. That's fine. But if you're using it for browsing the internet, for watching YouTube, for, calling people on FaceTime or something like that, what is the purpose of getting the newer version? There's no purpose, So it's just about being intentional with your purchases and only buying new things when that is actually something that provides more value than what you're replacing it with. When this one breaks, which it will eventually, I will probably get a newer refurbished iPhone, maybe an iPhone 12 refurbished, but I'm still always going to be a little bit behind the newest iPhone because it's so much cheaper. And people were fine with the iPhone 12 when it was new. Has society really evolved so much within a few years that you can't live in society without an iPhone 12 or an iPhone 8? I don't think so. People were fine with it when it was new. So the only reason you really want the new one, at least for some people I think, is because it exists and you have to be on top of, the newest technology. But, I think this one was new at one point. Just treat it as though this is the top of the line, There's no point in constantly being like, oh, in California they developed some new product, I have to have it. Well, what do you need it for? Oh, there's new stuff, Yeah, but this one, the new thing in society is AI, right? this phone can go on ChatGPT. I can use AI on this phone, even though AI was not very developed when I got it, because this one develops with it. So for me, it's not going to make sense to get a new phone before the software is no longer compatible with it. Things evolve so quickly, we're not using our technology to the full extent of it. And so, sometimes I think it makes sense to just take it slow, and use this one, until it's done. It's like an old horse. Just use the horse until it can't walk anymore. You don't need to get a new horse just because it's slowing down a little bit, unless you're like a race horse carriage driver. I don't know, but it's just that's how minimalism, like one-way minimalism and stoicism applies to my life. Is I just buy refurbished technology that's a little bit older, and I'm fine. I don't need anything newer. And I think for everybody it's different, but my invitation would be, try to be intentional with what you're buying and think about what extra value does it provide. And does it actually make sense to buy a new hardware if the software works fine with the old hardware? So how much do you care about it being a little bit quicker? That's my question.